1997 UK 2000 on a P. If you're after a classic Impreza and you've been looking for a while, hands down the cleanest one we've seen for a long time. The spec on this car is unbelievable, so much so that James is going to jump in. The vendor sent us a list across on what's been done to it, so if you want to take that away, James.
We started, like you say, with the UK 2000. It's currently running 358 horsepower, mapped by local Jap specialists. They're JM imports. I mean, you'll know who they are. It's forged internals, so it's good for 500 brake. 6-speed STI gearbox, stage 3 clutch, which actually surprisingly is nice and light. Hardened crank, ACL big ends and main race bearings, Manley rods, 4032 forged pistons, Cosworth head gaskets, ARP 11mm head studs. It's had the head fully rebuilt. It's had the inlet port and polished, and the exhaust. 565cc injectors. It's got Fuji top feed conversion fuel rails, which is the first thing Charlie's got when he opened the bonnet. It's had a rotated inlet and flipped front mounting cooler, so it's got the shorter pipe work, obviously less air travel, more bang. Thermal spacers, OBP catch can, OBP header tank, ESL, ECU enduring solutions with anti-lag launch control. It's got a swirl pot in the boot, twin fuel pumps. It's got innovative lightweight alloys, which are gorgeous. Very, very good tow boxes all round on it. It's had a full respray in its sonic blue colour. It's got coilovers, and then they've been set up onto a proper fast road geometry setup. It's polybushed all around. Charlie will pop the camera underneath and show you how nice it is under there. All the suspension's been shot blasted and powder coated. It's got a boost gauge, it's got an oil pressure gauge, it's got Godspeed J-hook brake discs and Kevlar pads, and a million other fantastic bits which Charlie will show you now.
Right, bodywork wise, I'm going to start off with the bonnet, work our way around this Impreza onto the interior. We're going to fire into life. James will also detail all that information he's just rattled off there on the website. But like I say, hands down, the best classic we've had. And we've had quite a few Subarus through our hands this year alone. So let's start off with the bonnet. Right, up the bonnet itself, no dings, no dents. Sometimes on these classics you can only see the braces underneath. You can only sort of see where they're bent around out. That's not the case for this one. It's lovely and tidy. No major stone chips at all, no heavy scratching. There's a little bit of peel to the paint on the bonnet scoop, and that's how harsh I'm going to be with this car. No complaints there. Lights are crystal clear. Bumper corners scuff free. No marks, no dings, no dents. Bang straight all the way across the front edge of there. And again, crystal clear on the right hand side. It sits perfectly level as well. One or two little stone chips across the front edge there, and there's a little bit of fade on the bottom there with a tiny, tiny little bit of spider webbing on that front splitter, which you wouldn't notice if I hadn't pointed it out. Round onto that driver's front wing and around the wing, no corrosion, no dings, no dents down that wing. It's perfectly straight once again down the right hand side. Those gorgeous wheels with the proxies, unmarked. Across the lower half of the sill section, no complaints there. And as you come up that driver's door, no dings, no dents, no scratching, no corrosion, nothing to complain about, no heavy scratching around the handle. We've got this lovely big door protector on, so there's no chips coming out of there. No problems with the wing mirror. I have got a car parking dent, which I've seen on the rear door, and this is how harsh you've got to be when a car is in this condition. Across the roof, no complaints. Across the high-level spoilers, all good. No complaints across the roof at all. No corrosion around the aerial, which is pretty standard on one of these. That's not the case with this one. As we hit the rear door again, lovely and tidy around the handle, perfectly straight. I'm trying to find that car parking dent now. There it is, just at the front of the door there. And again, if I hadn't noticed it, you wouldn't have seen it. I've got two stone chips here, 1, 2, and one further up that's been touched in. So 3 stone chips on the rear arch, no corrosion coming through. This is hands down the tidiest Subaru Impreza classic I've seen. No complaints there. Again, another unmarked wheel on the rear. Around the fuel filler cap, I've got a few little shrink marks in the paint on the cap itself and 1 or 2 just above it, which you can just see. Again, your nose has got to be touching it to see that there. That's my only complaint down that side. Rear lights are crystal clear. The bumper corner is scuff free all the way across. Again, no marks on there. No scratching across the lower half of the boot lid. The spoiler's in fantastic condition. You've got no corrosion coming through underneath the spoiler, which is normally pretty common, and no problems across the back of the boot lid there. I'm going to stick the camera underneath so you can have a look underneath there. Good study underneath how good that is in there. As you come round down the left hand side again around the arch, no corrosion, no rust. I've got one little stone chip bleb there, which you can see, a stone chip there, and that's all to whinge about. Another unmarked wheel. And down this left hand side again, lovely straight down the left hand side, no scratching around the handle, no chips out the back edge of that left hand side rear door. Lovely and tidy across the lower half of the doors, up onto that left hand side door again, bang straight down here as well. No scratching, another door protector on, protecting the back edge of the door. Unmarked on the wing cap. The glass is nice and tidy as well. Coming forward onto the front wing, and again no corrosion around the front wing there, lovely and straight all the way around there, around the indicators. You'll not find a nicer one for the money, you really won't. See how level it sits as well. It's a good looking car. Interior wise, sorry about a little bit of a cold today. Door card's nice and tidy, no rips or tears. One or two little marks on the cloth there. A little bit of wear to the sort of armrest bit, but that's all it can really whinge about. It's got a nice standard interior, it's not been messed around with too much in here. Normally they've got an STI interior in by now, but this one hasn't, which I quite like. Lovely and tidy on the seat, no rips, no tears. Aftermarket wheel, which is nice. You've got your boost gauge on the top there, your water temperature and your oil pressure gauge on the pillar pods. Lovely and tidy across the dashboard with no rips or tears. GPS hub there. Aftermarket head unit fitted. You've got a 6-speed manual box on there as well. That nice short shifting gear change on there. Headline's lovely and clean and tidy. Driver's rear, again door cards lovely and tidy. The seats are unmarked from the rear, from the right across the left hand side, unmarked there. Again, headline's lovely and clean and tidy, and so are the backs of the seats. Into the boot now, battery's been relocated. Fire extinguisher, swirl pots, look at that in there. I've never seen a boot floor like that on an Impreza. Perfectly tidy in there, and more importantly, the scuttle as well. Normally get corrosion there, not the case with this one. Gorgeous in there, it's clearly had a load of money spent on it. Left hand side rear, lovely and tidy on the door card, no nasty marks. And again, the seats are unmarked from the left across to the right hand side. Even inside the door checks, have a look at that. What a car. Lovely and tidy on the passenger door card, lovely blue mat, dashboard's unmarked, fire extinguisher in the front as well. And again, no rips or tears of those comfy bucket seats, they're all standard, lovely and straight on the left hand side. In the engine bay now, this is what you want to see, the inner wings on that. Across the front onto the other side. And I'm going to just slowly come out so you can have a good look at the inside of the engine there, so you can really study that. Even if it's got a sock on the air for that, all nice and tidy. You can see some of the modifications James mentioned. James, if you wouldn't mind firing it into life, and it's on bonnet rams, which is a big help. Firing straight up, you can hear the automatic choke, that is cold start up. There you have it, a 1997 on the P Subaru Impreza UK 2000. James is going to list a spec on the website. Have a proper look at this car. You're not going to find a nicer one, that's for sure.